Clash of Clans is changing things up with a big balancing update that just hit today. I want to go over that and how I think it's going to affect the game. Let's jump right in. So of course you can find all this information in the news tab if you do want to go through it yourself in-game, but I do want to talk about these things. Some of these are actually some surprising changes, so we'll kind of go through them one by one, and I'll let you guys know what I think and see how this is going to affect the meta potentially going forward. So first of all, this one I thought was a little surprising, but I think it is a good change. The multi-archer tower is getting a little bit of a buff, so it's going to hit just a little bit harder, which I think is a good move. Now with the Root Riders, the the main troop that everybody's been talking about, they're getting kind of double hit with the nerfs here, so they're going to be losing some damage per second and again losing some HP. So this is going to take level 3 Root Riders from where they used to be at 8,000 before the previous nerf. They had 8,000 HP. They're going to be all the way down to 7,000 HP, and I think that is going to put them in a little bit of a better spot. It's going to make attacks need to do better spell placement, make better choices as far as pets and equipment, but I don't think it's going to nerf Root Riders into the ground. I think they're still going to be a very viable option. You might want to take fewer Root Riders and go a little heavier on the Valkyries or Witches or whatever it is you like to bring with the Root Riders, but just some things to consider going forward with the Root Rider. I am going to do some testing myself later today, and I am going to do some updated attack guides, so if you guys are not subscribed, please do hit subscribe down below so you don't miss out on those guides. Alright, moving on to another one that I think was relatively surprising is going to be the Apprentice Warden, taking some nerfs here. So the Apprentice Warden isn't going to do as much HP increase as it used to, so interesting to see that, and we'll see if it has any effect on the Apprentice Warden. It's not a huge nerf, it's just going to be a little bit, so if you have the Apprentice Warden with your Root Riders in the core of the base, again, this is kind of a nerf for them, for those of us who are running it, and they're not going to have as much HP from the boost as they did before. This might also bring the life gem with the Warden back into consideration on some attacks. We'll have to take a look at how those numbers end up playing out. And then finally, for those of us at Town Hall 16, the Spirit Fox is going to be nerfed. The visible time is going to be 6 seconds at all levels, which I think is going to be a good change. The Spirit Fox is really, really strong. It's still going to be really strong after this change, but it's not going to be broken, because it definitely was. It was getting the RC through some crazy stuff, so now it's going to be a little bit more in balance. So as far as meta changes, I think the biggest thing, of course, is going to be the Root Rider, the big change that everybody was looking for. And I already kind of mentioned some things that we can probably expect to see going forward. Some other things is maybe consider attacks outside of Root Riders now. I think this should hopefully shake up the meta and bring some other troops in line. Maybe we can start looking at some Super Bowler smashes more often, or some Super Witch attacks, which are still very strong. People are just kind of stuck on the Root Riders at the moment, but hopefully that changes going forward. I think these are some great changes for the game, and I'm looking forward to how the meta changes. And as always, keep an eye on the channel. We will definitely be going over the changes as they pop up. And that is going to do it for this video. Quick and to the point. If you guys want to see some crazy creative attack strategies, I recommend checking out this video right here.